There's no doubt that the Blue Yeti microphone is one of the best mics available there. The only issue with this mic, just like many other mics, is that it's very sensitive to vibrations and noise, but it does capture your vocal range very well. So it's a fantastic mic. Now, what can you do in order to counter the vibration issue that usually comes, especially when you're doing some kind of a voiceover? For example, I'm an instructor, and oftentimes when I'm shooting for my online courses, I need to demonstrate something on the laptop. So therefore I have to move my mouse or, type something on the keyboard of the laptop, and that can all just send the vibrations and cause some issues during the recording. First of all, if you are willing to spend the money, then there's no doubt that the best solution for this is to get your hands on a boom arm stand which attaches to your desk, and then also use a shock mount along with that. You'll have to use both the things, and that is going to be the best solution, but that's going to be expensive. That's going to require maintenance, and also the main thing is that a lot of people may not even have the space to accommodate such a setup. So what is a budget setup that you can quickly adopt to solve this issue? Well, one thing that you can do is that you can just place your mic on something that is soft. Okay, so for a long time I just used to use a normal small pillow, but the problem with that was the mic would not be very stable. Then I got my hands on these rubber pads, and they do the job really well. Okay, so first I bought these rubber pads which come in sets of 4 like this. Okay, and these are just basic rubber pads, and in rupees this is just like around 200 rupees. That's just like $3 US. So very cheap. Okay, but the problem is because they don't have any sort of foam within them, it's okay. The results that you get are just definitely better than not using anything. But then I got my hands on these vibration pads, anti-vibration pads. So these basically the pads that you're seeing, okay, they are actually pads that you put under stuff like washing machine to just cancel out the vibrations. Okay, but you can use it for this purpose also. Now these pads are slightly more expensive. So in rupees, this is around 900 rupees, which is right now just above $10. So again, a very cheap way to counter this problem. And then what you do is, again, these also come in sets of 4, but even sets of 2 will do. And then you just put these under the mic, okay? And you put the mic on top of this. But before I do that, let me just show you why these are better. So this is rubber. Within that, you can see this blue part is like the foam, okay? So I would suggest this, but even these do the job, okay? So first of all, let's just see what happens if we don't have this, and then just do something like this, okay? I'm just do this. You can see, right? Picks up a lot of noise. Now, it's not going to happen that if I just put this, suddenly that noise is going to go away. Okay, that's not going to happen because ultimately it is sound. It's just that what you'll find is it muffles that sound very well. So the vibrations, they are not prolonged, basically. That's how it's going to help you. So if I put it on this, you can see here now if I do this, same thing. Of course, now these are pretty loud sounds. When you're typing in, obviously it's going to be less, and it really makes a lot of difference. Now, one side benefit of using this setup is that it also raises the height of the mic. And then what's that going to do is it's actually going to make your mouth closer to this part of the mic. So the Blue Yeti, one of the mistakes that people make is that they don't know that the Blue Yeti is kind of like a side receptor or a side receptive mic, which means that your voice actually has to come like this, and this is how you're supposed to keep your mic, okay? Because this is not a front receptor where you're used to seeing the other mics where the top part faces your mouth. It's not like this. It's supposed to go perpendicular like this. So because this raises the height, that also makes an absolutely huge amount of difference and really improves the audio quality because it captures the entire vocal range and really gives a boom to your sound. Okay, so make sure that you follow it like this and don't tilt it, because that's a mistake a lot of people make, right? So this really helps you in that. Also, another thing that really helped me with the sound quality, these are just some additional bonus points, that I bought this windshield, okay, separately from Amazon. So again, very cheap, around $10, and just put it on top. It really helps with the pops and the hiss and some of the noise, okay? So this is also important. Now the point obviously is that the gain knob should be kept as low as possible, okay, because that will capture a lot of noise and some of these things. So keep it as low as possible. What I do is I keep this volume knob higher and just try to keep as low a gain as possible. Also behind that, there is the cardioid setting, which is very important, especially if you're into voiceovers, because what that does is setting it on that setting makes sure that it mainly captures the voice that is coming from this angle, and any source of noise that is behind, it tries to not capture that. Okay, so again, if you are into voiceover, that setting will be really helpful. And of course, the final point is that just like with any other mic, do not forget to edit your audio. You really have to do that with these mics. For example, I use Premiere Pro, and there I use 4 settings. One is denoise, which further cancels out the noise. The second is a high pass filter, which is really gonna take away those hiss-like sounds. The third is that I add some bass to it. And finally, the fourth thing is that I also use the limiter setting, and that just helps me anytime my voice goes high, it just balances out things. So these are some of the things that I really do. And once you do all of these things, you are going to get a fantastic output from this fantastic mic. I hope that it helps you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.